We have a seat ready for you. And I think I will hand over to Ms. D'Souza because she knows the names. So. Must you remember?
No, I think I mic'd up. All right, good afternoon. Can you guys hear me at the back? Yes. I'm very impressed with how many of you showed up and gave up your morning to talk about organ donation.
First of all, a very good afternoon to all of you here, and good morning to you there. So, I got him with a big yawn, but that was so cute. A cute little yawn. But I know this topic might be a little heavy, like Faye already discussed, for a lot of you children here. And like Faye also did say that we are a huge country, and we have so many people who are waiting in line. And how much more is that what we can do? I was very happy to hear all the statistics that Dr. Mehra put out, but that was basically focused on China. And I mean, okay, this is a small joke I was thinking when that was going on. I don't know how many of us really want a made in China body part. So I don't know how long that will last. Okay, that was a joke, hello, just to lighten the situation, because there's a bunch of youngsters and kiddos over here. But you know, the thing is very, very deep actually, especially in our country, because there's so much of stigma revolved around organ donation, and it is pan cultures. So I have been an ambassador, Jay's here right now, for Mon Foundation for many years. And that is a thing which we used to talk about, and wherever we used to have in Nanavati Hospital, we had a full, panel exactly like this. And the main topic, that hindrance that was there in our country, is that a lot of cultures think, oh, the body should not be desecrated after the soul has passed. So whether you're a Muslim or a Sikh or Christian or Hindu or whatever, we found that problem pan religions.
Yes.
So that is one thing, that we need to get out of our, whole concept of that it is against our religion or it is against our culture. I think that is where this educated youth comes in, where they can carry this message forward. You can talk to people about it. The awareness needs to spread that this is a necessity today. It is all scientific. There's nothing that the body is going to be desecrated or the soul will not pass onto the 7th heaven or the 10th heaven or wherever it goes after we all gone. But at the moment, that same soul can save so many lives. I mean, what better good deed or what better karma or what better punya than that any soul will ever accumulate of all the deeds that they've done in their living life. So that for me is a very, very important aspect that we need to reach out to, not only within our colleges or but I think even in our interiors. As far as what the discussion, coming back to what Dr. Mehra and Madhu Aunty here were talking about, is I'm kind of on the fence a little. For example, I work a lot for wildlife as well. As everyone knows that a lot of the rhinos are almost extinct, the white and the black. And why are they extinct? They're extinct for their horns, right? So there was this entire movement and a discussion open in South Africa where they're almost legalizing keratin trade and rhino farming, where the rhinos are going to be bred and humanely they're going to be bred for the keratin so that there is no illegal poaching. You see, that is a thought that went across, because otherwise our animals are going extinct. So to a certain extent, to stop that illegal poaching, they have made a movement which can be used like ostrich farming, or like, for example, so that the breed or the, doesn't go extinct, it lives on. Well, as far as human beings are concerned, the concern over here is that even if we legalize the organ donation, there will still be an amount of illegal trading happening. You will not be able to curb that until and unless there is a collaborated, orchestrated effort internationally and globally and under one umbrella.
Yeah.
then until and unless that happens, and it's a serious effort, it's not going to get curbed.
Because then effectively what happens to a transplant
This is
patient?
where people like Dr. Mehra come,
Yes.
who enact laws, who help the decision makers to provide better health care, better facilities, medical insurances, whatever they can do. We have government hospitals where it doesn't cost much, but you should encourage those hospitals to set up quality centers, good centers, at par with private, and you should discourage middle people. I am completely for it, middle persons for hospital admissions, middle persons for any donation, middle person for anything have to be removed from equations. If you're talking about the people who can't afford it, I gave you example from my family. She was just a junior professor in JNU, wasn't making enough. But they went to a sleazy hospital. They could have gone to a government hospital where this facility could have been provided. Why wasn't it done? This is what we need to work on. Not just a poor man giving his kidney for money. That is not where it stops. It is a combined effort of everybody, the lawmakers, the decision makers, the ethics department, the social service providers, everybody.
So I just have a question on this. So if the argument here is that you are legalizing the organ trade, right? Do you think that has potential of increasing the amount that is provided? For example, as we all know that the demand is much more and the supply is much less. That has been growing over the years statistically, right? So by legalizing, my one question is that you think this will meet the demands, or do I feel, for example, like I said when I started with, I said I'm a little on the fence here, is because I do feel that the only way to increase the supply of people who are really in dire need is by spreading awareness, by reaching out to people, by making people come forward and pledge their organs, that okay, under whatever circumstances, once I'm dead, this is my card and here is where I want to give my organs. Do you think that will speed up the process?
We should not see organ trafficking or organ donation unidimensionally. It has many dimensions. You have allogenic donations where also they can have renal failure after I've donated to my husband. Maybe I would fall sick. So these are the after effects of donations which we have to be aware of, and it cannot be a unidimensional business. It has to be a multi-pronged, and every part of the society who are dealing with or who are directly, indirectly related to organ trade have to come forward and make it simpler, make it cheaper, make it accessible, make it available, make it ethical, make it humane, and make it affordable. It's very important to go through all this, and you can't just say कि अच्छा गरीब ने दे दिया, अमीर ने ले लिया. ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता. गरीब तो मजबूरी में आज दे रहा है, पर अगर हमने ऐसा कानून बनाया कि वो मजबूरी में नहीं दे, willingly दे. आप blood मांगते हो when you need, suppose like my husband needed 36 units of blood when he was being operated. मेरे पास तो इतना blood नहीं था. I could not have donated that. We got it from donors who willingly donated. We got it from people who charged me for it. होता है. You can't fight this. The demand is there. The supply has to be created, whether by voluntary donations, whether by willingly saying that after my demise you can take my organs, or buy it for money.
But pledging.
Yeah, so if pledging becomes, if everybody pledges and eventually donations raise, so the illegal trade or the trafficking will reduce. It might reduce, but I don't think it will diminish, like it will go completely off, because there are, like ma'am said, there are kids being sold outside of India. There are kids being, so the organs will still, I think the trade will still go on, and the organs still will be going out of India. So I don't think it will completely go. I think there should be some law.
It's not a silver bullet solution, obviously, but yes, go ahead.
So the logic here is once you start pledging, there's more awareness. So it's all a demand and supply, right? So if you read statistically, the demand is much higher and the supply is very less. On legal organ donation. Now, once you start increasing that supply, rather people would go the right way. Unless there's a desperate situation, then you do a crime, right? So that is the basic logic of it all. So as I'm very thankful to Xavier's and to Dr. Abraham and everyone here on this panel that they found the time to come here and actually talk to you all. I feel a lot more initiatives like this need to be undertaken. I'm telling you, there's very, very, very less awareness. I do support a lot many organizations, but unfortunately, the least that I do appearances for or initiatives that are taken are actually for organ donation, which is very, very surprising. You know, I've actually spoken to so many of these our countries full of godmen all over, right? And they have these huge satsangs which are like 50,000 lakhs of people and stuff. And I've actually spoken to them to collaborate, to make short films for them to screen when they have these lakhs of people sitting in their audiences, you know, to reach out, which I think should become a necessity by even the government, or to make a move that whenever there's a large gathering, a small screening like this should happen. You know, whether it's in theaters or it is in, anywhere which is, and that's all it needs. It needs that correct awareness.
Let me take one last question. Right at the back. Yes, go ahead. No, but one moment. This, yes, I'll come back to you. Go on.
Listen to me. No, I think you're under some kind of misunderstanding. We are talking about a legal organ donation. We're not talking about illegal trade. If you go to any quack and say, oh, I'm pledging my organs, take my organs and have fun and make money, that's not going to work. But if you have a proper card, and tomorrow you obviously, God forbid, are in a situation where you are, where your organs are being donated, you will obviously be in a respectful place, which your parents would know what is happening, or your family members know. When you carry that card in your wallet, it registers you automatically as a donor, right? And there is a legal process.
Could you explain to us the legal process?
Yeah, that does go through.
Let's assume I have a card in my wallet.
Yeah.
And I'm now, for whatever reason, okay, you want to show your card.
I think वो साइड पे चले जाओ मैं अभी साइड पे आ गया चलो
Okay, so okay, Raveena, it seems like you quite enjoyed the discussion, which happened.
I enjoy being with students because they are such impressionable young minds, and this is such a great opportunity to take the right message across to them about organ donation. They are going to be the Gen Next, and I think they are the ones who will help their parents and their elders to shake off superstitions and beliefs that have been coming down centuries, and to take this good cause forward. It's the right group of people to connect to.
You work with a lot of NGOs who have worked for women welfare and environment. About organ donation, where do you think India is currently? Is there a scope of?
It's not a great statistic, to be very honest. We have a huge scope. I mean, we are a huge nation with a huge population, and unfortunately, like we saw statistically, the demand is much more, the supply is less. And I think the only way to reach out to people is to spread awareness. Unfortunately, pan religions and pan cultures, there's a certain superstition that, you're desecrating the body and don't touch the body after the person, as the soul has passed on, or the soul will be, not received well if they're desecrated, or will be born blind in the next birth. There's so many of these, superstitions that people like us have to fight through to educate them, to say that nothing like that happens. In fact, you are earning good karma. You're doing a good deed. by, probably if with one person, if 5 organs are donated, you're changing the life or giving life to 5 more people who are in desperate need. So, I mean, what better good deed or good karma than that?
Right. Raveena, we see a lot, there are not many film stars who are involved in such causes the way you are, the way you spoke, you have knowledge, you have done the work. Do you think film stars should be more involved at the ground level for these causes? So
I
that,
think so,
the
because
voices reach out to more people?
see, I have a few causes that I very strongly believe in. One definitely being the girl child, then our environment and the wildlife, and our forests, because ultimately that is our future. What kind of a planet are we giving to our children ahead? If there is no oxygen to breathe, there are no trees, and there are no forests, the sustenance of civilization, it looks very bleak to me, at least in the future. So that is another cause. And then there is, of course, organ donation again, which I believe gives life. So I do believe strongly in a couple of these causes, which I've been an ambassador for Mohan Foundation for, I think, the past 5 years, at least, 5 years, and I have done a lot of work with them, and they continue to do great work. So we need more people, and we need to reach out to more people. I thank the organizers of Xavier's who gave us this opportunity to talk to these young students today.
There were lots of topics which have been raised by the students, How many students do you think have agreed to place their organs?
I think maximum, a lot of them did. Unfortunately, yes, there are a lot, extra woke children also who are very pessimistic about the future, but these kind of children, I do tell them that have faith, have hope, because you need to become the change. If you give up and you say, okay, no, nothing's going to happen, then actually nothing's going to happen. But if you do believe that you can do it and you can be part of the change and you will become the change, then you can definitely do it. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.